Hello, 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 hello. What a guan, what a guan. Happy Thursday, happy Thursday. Another fun show today, another fun show today. And again, lighthearted, not too serious, not too heavy, not too heavy. Both educational and entertaining. Nice. Hey, so who do we got here today? Hello, Seek Amethys. Hello, hello. How are you doing? How are you doing? Hello, Positive Therapist. Hello to you as well. Hello, Skincare Do's and Don'ts. Hey, hey, hey. So, hope everybody's having a wonderful Thursday today. I'm going to get the link ready for people to call in, since I'm always dropping that really late. Hello, Igwe's daughter. Good evening. I know some of you people are so shy. Don't know if you need to do your hair or whatever. But remember, you don't have to show your camera. For those of you who are camera shy, right? You can just come on and talk. Come on and talk. We got a pretty good show again today. So, without further ado, I think we can get right into it, right? I think we can. I think we can. So let me bring this up.
I wonder how Koreans maintain their good bodies even after a big feast like this.
Is that true? Like, I don't know if that's medically accurate.
I don't think that's medically accurate, but hey.
To drink this once a day. They contain Garnicia kombucha and they work.
Ooh, the good old Garcinia kombucha. I thought that thing was dead, but it's still around. It's amazing. If you go on YouTube or Google, you'll always find videos on this thing, right? You guys remember when this was hot, super popular? I remember a coworker of mine insisted that this is why his wife was losing weight. Insisted. He was telling me about how it melts the fat and poop it out. Poop it out. I told him that's nonsense, right? She was just not eating much food. He insisted. Of course, that is nonsense.
To stop carbs from being transformed into fat.
Time out. There was a very famous doctor that decided to call this a miracle cure. That said,
yeah, Dr. Oz, the Wizard of Oz.
You don't need to exercise. You don't need to diet. Just take this supplement and it'll help you lose weight. It's poop. Never been.
That is so true. It is. It's poop. As a matter of fact, there's studies now, the time has gone along, that prove that this damn thing is actually potentially dangerous. It can be toxic to you, right? Damn crazy.
Proven. In humans, the results have been mixed to negative. So stop promising people miraculous cures. Even
mixed to negative. I don't know what going on with them people, you know. Them always come up with some fantastical herb. The thing say just take some herb and the weight just magically disappear.
Memorial Sloan Kettering, which is where my mom ended up getting her cancer treatments before she passed, has like a whole page on this. We're gonna pop it up here to show that the results do not show this thing works.
Bro, why do you eat your fries before your burger?
Look, the logic behind this is fries are carbs and they're gonna process way faster than the protein in the burger. So I want the protein to fill me up at night and make me feel full.
Man, yeah. I remember back in the day when we used to believe craziness like this. I remember this. But if the guy had reversed it, that'd actually be useful. As in eat the protein first. But I'll let the video play.
I hate saying the word bro science, but if you're eating it 4 seconds apart, the way that it looks in your stomach is like... So it doesn't matter if you eat this bite first and this bite second. In the end, it's all like that.
This guy's kind of hilarious, right? So I agree with him on what he's saying. However, I wish he would have pointed out that if the guy had reversed it as in eating the protein first and then the carbs, there's actually some benefits to that. What are the benefits? Does anybody in the chat know? It's kind of a trick question, but you guys are pretty smart. Some of you might actually know. Ding dong, ding dong. Okay, it helps slow down the absorption of the carbs, right? There's actually some good studies on this actually as well. A recent one by the American Diabetes Association showed that it helped control blood sugar. That's eating protein before the carbs. They looked at 11 people with type 2 diabetes, were overweight or obese, and they ate 628 calorie meal with protein, carbs, and fat. And the key thing here, what I liked, is that the carbs were the fast digesting carbs, high glycemic, meaning it hits the bloodstream quickly, which means it's going to spike insulin even more because they had orange juice and ciabatta bread. And this particular bread is actually high glycemic bread, right? They ate that with skinless grilled chicken and a small salad. Now, when they did this and they reversed the stuff, when they looked at blood sugar 30, 60, and 120 minutes afterwards, noticeably different. The blood sugar levels are 29% lower, 29% lower after 30 minutes, 37% lower after 60 minutes, and 17% lower after 120 minutes. That is huge. Huge, 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 huge. Right? That is a massive, 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 massive difference right there. Believe me, that's a massive difference. Now, you might say, hey, I'm not diabetic, right? It doesn't matter if you're not diabetic. When I was pre-diabetic, right, that stuff made a difference because at first it was hard to lose fat before my insulin sensitivity got fixed, right? And even if you're not pre-diabetic, you still want to control those spikes. So even for normal people, still super healthy, right? It will help at least prevent you getting fatter or help with losing weight, right? Because at the end of the day, right, when the glucose, whatever your cells don't use and they're not storing, they're going to store that stuff as fat. That's what it comes down to, right? So that's why it's like a double whammy. When you're very fat, it's easier to get fatter, let's say. And when you're very lean, you have more, it's like the rich getting richer. I remember a friend of mine many years ago who was lean and muscular, and he was eating some crazy meal with fries and this and that. And I remember saying, man, how could he eat like this? He's like, by the time I walked to the door, that's gone. He was exaggerating, but the point being is because he was in such great shape, he could get away with stuff. That's the point to that, right? Now, we're going to move forward a little bit here.
Extra cheese, that's a surefire way to get your cholesterol up.
Time's running out.
Okay. Probably have to have a dermatologist chime in here, but I'm pretty sure the oils on the pizza also not great for the face. They
I'm curious to hear what skincare do's and don'ts thinks about this.
probably cause breakouts. What did I miss in this video? Why are we slapping ourselves with cheese?
This is a bottle of Dr. Jane's expectorant from the 1800s.
How did they get their hands on that? Wow, with the 1 cent stamp on there.
It still has the original label on it, and it's completely full.
It's completely full, but it's so inert, it's crazy. It says alcohol 13%. You don't think that alcohol has already expired? No, what's when the sun shines on water and the evaporates! You don't think all the alcohol has evaporated from this bad boy? Come on now.
Would it evaporate if it's been sealed?
Yes, unless it was kept in like the most ideal condition. The cork, based on the conditions and the humidity, will change shape, and that will allow some air to get in there.
Because it says it contains alcohol and opium, and it's for children 14 to 21 years old.
You know what we were doing not that long ago, and some doctors still do, and in rare cases it might be okay? Giving codeine as a cough syrup. We have now taken a pretty firm stance to say that the risks outweigh the benefits for codeine. It's an opioid. Back to the TikToks in just a second.
Now, we're going to fast forward by this, but obviously, you don't want to be rubbing pizza in your face, and obviously, eating a ton of fat, especially that kind of fat, can raise your cholesterol. As we talked about the other day when we were looking at keto, potentially, if you're not doing that stuff correctly, you can have such problems, right? So you don't want that. Do not want that. Now, moving on to the next clip here, which I thought was pretty interesting as well.
All right, let's get back to the TikToks. Why are my evil arch nemesis back? You know, like they do all these cap, not cap. This is pure cap. Cap, 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 cap. They're putting crystals in here. They're just throwing everything in the book. Is this sponsored by Goop? Rub on belly and thighs during the waning. I'm not gonna lie, I might rub it on my thighs because my thighs have a problem. Maybe this can fix the energy in my thighs. Oh! Oh! That was dumb. I didn't expect that to be that cool. When kids
Now, I don't, obviously, rubbing the stuff in your skin is not going to do any magical stuff for your body, right? Obviously.
say they don't drink water, add lemon juice, cucumber, jelly beans. What do you want your kids to choke? Olive oil, whipped cream, sprinkles. Ta-da. So you just gave.
So for those of you with kids, obviously, this is not what you should be doing, right? But a lot of parents out there, just to pacify their kids, they'll shove some kind of sugary drink in their hands, right? And then they wonder why we have childhood obesity problem. It's things like this. Your kid don't drink water. Last time I checked, kids didn't have a choice. They don't have a car. They don't have car keys. And they don't have money to go buy stuff. They will drink the damn water or they will die of thirst. I'm just joking. They won't die of thirst. But they'll drink the water, right? And if you don't screw up their taste buds with all of this kind of stuff, then they will drink water and they will like it. Just like when you were a kid and you liked water, or at least you drank it even if you didn't like it, right? Sodas and pop and juice is not a substitute for water. It is not.
Your kids an olive oily milkshake? I gotta understand.
Ultimate diet hack. This is a little 25-calorie marshmallow.
I hate the word hack.
All you need is 5 seconds in the microwave and... Dude, look.
Okay, that's not what happened. That's a lie. That was deceptive video editing. And there's probably so much refined sugar in there. Oh,
Yes, obviously that doesn't really happen, right? Camera tricks. But the premise here and the point here is that if you eat a ton of these kind of sugary stuff, that is healthy. That is unhealthy, rather. Very unhealthy, right? And the overall theme here is just like yesterday's video. There's a lot of mumbo jumbo nonsense out there on the internet. Don't just believe everything you hear. You'll see some even crazier things as this continues.
my God, it's so easy to overdo it with excess sugar. That's how your body starts getting confused. That's how it actually starts poisoning your gut. And when I say your gut, I'm really talking about the gut bacteria that live in there. By eating all
Yeah. Some of you, I know I used to have this problem with my gut, all kinds of issues, right? Because of eating nonsense, when I got fat for many, many years, I screwed up my gut. Some of you guys have this similar problem, or you know of people with these problems, right? When you eat a lot of that nonsense, it screws everything up. The gut is a huge part of your immune system. Huge part of your immune system. It's not just that you feel not so good after eating food or drinking something, or you get gassy, or it's embarrassing, or it's awkward, right? It can affect your immune system on top of things, right? So there's so many negatives to these kinds of things. But you can fix yourself. I got myself fixed as well. Lots of probiotics, kefir, fermented foods, etc. It took like a year or two, but hey, you can fix yourself.
that refined sugar, you're feeding and changing the type of bacteria that's in your gut and increasing the number of bacteria that love sugar, thereby changing like the gut mind microbiome where it's encouraging you to eat more and have sugar cravings. Just be really careful.
I'm not sure if you guys caught that part, but by changing things for the bad, it's perversely making you want to eat more bad. That's crazy, right? That's yeah. That's
Like if you go camping and you have some marshmallows, not the end of the world. Isn't that thing just like a pure sugar cookie? Like it's just a ton of sugar. Same talking point as marshmallows. Lots of refined sugar, no bueno. But if you're doing it for a competition and your life's on the line, you better get to licking. And by the way, do you know why the licking thing works? It's because your mouth has saliva in it. Saliva has salivary amylase, which is an enzyme that breaks down carbohydrates, sugars. And the parts that are the smallest, meaning where the cutouts are, dissolve the fastest. Therefore, you're able to push the cookie out with a beautiful star. 5 reasons you should do a juice cleanse.
The cleanse thing. I don't remember who was talking about cleansing the other day. It might have been Angelique, I think. Cleansings are so popular, right? But most of the time, it's just mumbo jumbo nonsense. Mumbo jumbo nonsense.
Okay, this is hard for.
Plus, I said to do this to take a break from processed food by juicing a fruit, eat the damn fruit. It's superior. This has been scientifically proven. You know how many apple juice, how many bottles you could drink of apple juice? A ton. But if you sit there and eat those apples, you can't eat a ton of them. As a matter of fact, that was one of the tips to cut back to easily, effortlessly lose belly fat, right? Eat an apple before a meal, right? Helps satiate you.
For me to debunk, because you should give your digestive system a break from processed food, but you don't need to juice cleanse in order to give it a break from processed foods. You can just eat unprocessed.
You took the word right out of my mouth. You can take a break from processed food by simply eating unprocessed food. This is so simple, so commonsensical, right? Is that even a word, commonsensical? I don't know. But I'm going to go with that.
Processed foods, which are whole foods and healthy foods. You like beet juice? Eat beets. You like orange juice? Eat oranges. Why do they want to drink everything? Just chew it. You have teeth. 2, kickstarts weight loss.
No, it does not kickstart weight loss. That stuff only kickstart weight loss when you're dieting and you're essentially not eating, you're starving yourself, right? Don't fool yourself. These juice diets, cleanses, whatever you want to call them, it's just low calorie mumbo jumbo nonsense. So you're consuming 500, 700 calories a day, like HC diet style, which is nonsense as well. And I'm losing all this weight. Bunch of it is water weight, not sustainable. Then you start losing muscle. Don't do that.
Oh, you do not need to kick-start your weight loss. You know what eliminates toxins? Your organs. Your organs clean out toxins, kidneys, liver. You have them, use them.
Yeah. You know, it's also great. The sauna. I believe Angelique goes to the sauna regularly. I know I do. The sauna is great. Tons of things the sauna can help you with. Lowers risk of cancer. Helps detox you. You know, your skin is the biggest organ, right? So when you sweat, that's how you're getting rid of stuff. Far better than any damn cleanse. Sweating things out. So effective. So effective. Did they type? Yeah, they don't even think they typed this thing right. Boost energy. Boots as in the boots you wear on your feet. That's funny.
Boost energy. It doesn't even say boost energy. It says boots energy.
Are you trying to cut carbs, but it's really hard to do?
Get a knife. I don't know why.
Let me show you how. In segments, in wedges, in slices.
She took my joke.
Cutting carbs is hard. Use a knife.
Wow, she literally stole my joke. Okay. Or I stole hers. Oh, I think I've seen this video on my TikTok before. This is like an esophagus.
This is crazy. This has nothing to do with weight loss or muscle gain, but wow. Unique things bodies can do.
Dermal fistula, where if you have a connection between 2 parts of the body, you can create a fistula, which essentially creates a passageway.
I'm turning vegan.
Is he really? Oh. Oh, wait, what? So, okay, it looks like steak. What does it taste like, though?
I have 2 simple solutions for how to wake up happier.
I wake up pretty miserable the last few weeks training for boxing. So let's see what we got here.
Take about 400 milligrams of magnesium glycinate. Magnesium is the mineral responsible for over 3,000 enzymes in your body. If you add a couple magnesium pills and a full glass of water before bed, you'll start waking up feeling incredible.
That last part, why? Why make a promise that if you add a glass of water, magnesium, you're gonna start feeling incredible? My friend, walk into my medical office to my patients who've been suffering with insomnia for 2 years, that are in tears, severe depression because of their insomnia, and make this promise and watch them feel even more debilitated, more upset because your little life hack didn't work. Stop the promises. It truly hurts people. It's not the same thing to say, magnesium has these actions in cells, as saying taking a bunch more magnesium will make these processes better or faster or more efficient. The reality is if you don't have the magnesium, those processes don't happen. But it should be talked about with their doctor, not from a random TikTok video promising you success and probably selling you supplements on the side.
Now, I agree with him about potentially selling his supplements on the side, but I think he's exaggerating just a tad little bit. Because this guy seems like, to me, he's coming in good faith, right? The premise here, I'm going to assume, is taking magnesium, like we've discussed before on the show, will help you with sleep. A lot of people are deficient in magnesium, right? The product I point out is called natural kind of magnesium for a reason. It does help to relax you. Right? It also helps with recovery from strenuous workouts as well. So if you did take some magnesium and it did help you with your sleep, what are you going to do when you wake up the next morning? You will be happier. You will definitely be happier. Just think of a kid who doesn't get to sleep. What are they? Cranky, right? When you don't get your sleep, what are you? Cranky, right? So, and as we discussed before, lots of people don't get enough sleep, right? I forget what the averages are, but they're terrible. So I think this guy's coming in good faith. So this is the one time I'm disagreeing with the doctor here. I really believe he's exaggerating, right? So, I mean, yeah.
Tap water, healthy for us to...
Now, this is my favorite part. because I used to believe this nonsense, right? Alkaline water. I used to believe this nonsense.
Drink. Let's find out.
Yes. I solved it. Yes.
Now what I'm going to take is some medical grade alkaline water just so we have a different water to compare. And we'll test the pH. We'll see what the pH is for a tap.
Oh, thank God. Let's test that pH.
Now, in the United States of America, all tap comes out alkaline-ish, right? And the reason is because the federal government...
Note how confident and sophisticated and authoritative this guy sounds. He's got his kit. He's got his little bar thing at the bottom. He's got this one colored with the blue right there. Another one. He's got his full getup. He's going really good, going from his script. Sounds like he knows what he's talking about, right? Sounds like he knows what he's talking about.
mandates that it has to be like this. They put chlorine, fluoride, arsenic, lead.
Oh, yeah, they...
The arsenic and lead, there is always a certain amount. Generally, grad is a safe grasp, right? There's a certain level of even bad things that are allowed in things, right? Because it can be so minuscule that it's not going to do anything bad per se, right? So, but this guy is trying to make it sound like, oh, your tap is filled with all these terrible things that could hurt you, kill you, blah, 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 right? He's exaggerating just a bit.
Put lead in your water. Bro, do you hear what you say sometimes? They actually limit how much arsenic and lead ppm can be there.
I have a straw. We'll
That's parts per million. That's kind of what I was talking about a while ago.
blow bubbles and we'll compare.
What is chemical versus molecular? These videos, they just take words that are scientific. Chemical versus molecular here is just 3 words. That's
Yeah. You see, what these guys like to do, right, is they sound so great, sound very authoritative, and they throw out big words, and they say them so confidently, smoothly. You're gonna read a goddamn script. They're not doing a live stream. I don't have a script. I'm just talking, right? That's why I'm looking at the camera. And they just sound so good, but it's mumbo jumbo, chemical versus molecular. What the hell is that? That makes no damn sense. Chemical versus molecular. If you Google this, you'll see it doesn't bring anything up. Chemical versus molecular? Come on.
it. No meaning, just 3 words.
And what happens when we put it inside of our body?
My friend, here's what happens when you put your alkaline water inside my body. It mixes with my stomach acid, which has a pH of 2 on your little red acidic scale there, and it ends up being 2 because the stomach acidity.
Human body is incredibly sophisticated, incredibly sophisticated. There's lots of things that need to be kept in balance, right? It's very hard for you to get things out of whack. When you take too much of something or not enough of another thing, your body compensates. That's why people can be very unhealthy for a while and still be alive. And even when you get to a very bad stage, you can fix things really quickly, right? If you change. As long as you're alive, there's always a chance. You've had people who've had a heart transplant, and then they've done an Ironman triathlon. An Ironman triathlon is you swim about 2 miles. That's a ton of laps in a pool. Then you get out of the water and you ride a bike for over 100 miles. Over 100 miles. Not miles per hour, over 100 miles. Then you run a goddamn marathon. Think about that. Heart transplant and able to do all of that. So as long as you're still ticking, no pun intended, you have a chance to fix yourself, right?
Is very tightly controlled. And then it continues on its way down to the gut. And then it gets absorbed and it enters the bloodstream. And the bloodstream is even more well-controlled pH, 7.35 to 7.45. Even if the blood pH range slightly comes out of that, slightly, it can become lethal. So your little 1 pH difference in your little water bottle there that you're charging hundreds of dollars for is complete poo-poo.
LiverKing.
Again, full disclaimer, I used to believe this kind of nonsense with the alkaline water and blah, 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 blah. I can't imagine. I wasted so much goddamn money buying alkaline water. Those bottles are expensive as hell, right? Very expensive as hell. I don't even want to remember what I spent, but I wasted a ton of money on that stuff. Hopefully you will not. And you had these kind of bottles you could buy, right? That do all this kind of fancy stuff to make your water more alkaline and blah, 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 blah. I never bought one, but yeah, it's a total mumbo jumbo.
Our boy LiverKing's back.
Eat your heart out, Primals.
He's literally eating a beef heart. When I was watching the videos last time, I didn't realize that he was going to be consuming all of the meats raw, so I didn't comment on it, but you guys rightfully pointed it out. The reason we cook our meats
is to not get sick. Sushi is the exception. Did you guys know there's a reason why sushi is served with the wasabi? Yeah. So if you just do sushi by itself, you're gonna make up some new version of sushi, just the raw fish. You run the risk of getting sick. But if you do it the traditional method with the wasabi, you will not. Because the wasabi helps to prevent from getting all that bacteria and stuff. See, ancient people knew this stuff, right? So it's kind of like when people say, I'm going to do the Mediterranean diet to be healthy and lose weight. It's not the diet, it's the Mediterranean lifestyle, right? So if you just take the diet, you're not going to all of a sudden have all the benefits of the Mediterranean diet. It's a lifestyle. Those people move more. It's a more chill environment, more relaxed. They walk a hell of a lot more. They get out into the sun. They get their vitamin D. Less stress, blah, 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 blah. The list goes on and on and on.
Is because we want to kill the bacteria that's found on them, in them.
Did you guys see the salmonella? That's no joke. Never had it. Don't want to be. I'm sure some of you have had food poisoning before. No bueno. No bueno, right? Heaving, hurling, vomiting. Ugh. The crazy diarrhea. I mean, I once had food poisoning so bad. I was hurling so much till literally there was nothing left. This only happened once. There was nothing left. It was just dry heaves. My abs clenched so hard, I felt like I had a six-pack. I was thinking, man, do I have a six-pack? It felt like I had a six-pack. Unfortunately, I didn't. I've never had a six-pack. I've had a four-pack and the vague outlines of a six-pack in the morning. It is what it is, man.
When you consume them raw, a lot of times you'll be okay because your stomach has hydrochloric acid, your body has an immune system. But the problem is the one time that little listeria.
The one time, man. Hope I'm not bringing back bad memories for you guys. Remember the first time I had food poisoning was in undergrad. Terrible experience. Terrible experience. Didn't know why I was sick, just vomiting in the dorm. God, terrible.
Area, salmonella, it gets through, you're gonna have a really big problem. I believe in the hygienic theory. Like, kids should play in the mud. Like, we need more bacteria on us, around us, in us, but this is an unnecessary way to do it, in my opinion, at least to recommend to everyone to do, because most people don't know how their meats are processed. They don't know who's touching them. And because of that, you just don't know what kind of bacteria is on there. So cook it and be safe.
I agree. Why take any chances, right? Just cook the damn thing and be safe. There's some health benefits to eating the meat raw, but man, that is so hardcore. More power to you if you want to be that hardcore, but it's not worth it. It's definitely not worth it. You can cook your organ meats, you can cook your regular beef, etc., and you can get lots of health benefits out of it. You don't have to eat it raw. Now, if you legitimately, it tastes good to you raw, that's another thing. But again, you got to be sustainable, right? It's like I said many shows ago, whatever diet you're on, whatever lifestyle you're on in terms of eating, if you can't see yourself doing it that way a year from now, 5 years from now, then it's short term. Well, why bother, right? You're going to regress. You got to do stuff that's sustainable. I mean, it's got to taste good. You got to like it. You got to like it. Otherwise, you're just wasting your time. You're just wasting your time. Wasting your time. So please don't do that. Please do not do that.
Mac and cheese? That was hot. You gotta be careful eating that hot. Remember, I have a whole video on drinking hot fluids. Increase the risk of developing esophageal cancer by 90%.
That's crazy. I did not know that. I did not know that. I'm fully honest, I did not know that. I'm so glad that I just don't like things super hot, right? I like warm to kind of hot. When I go to Starbucks, the times I've done it, it's usually when I'm traveling. I get white chocolate mocha. I'm always asking them to make it not be so hot. But I didn't know there's actual health benefits to that. I guess it kind of makes sense if you think about it, right? Super hot stuff, you're kind of forcing yourself to drink it. You know, you got to like barely sip it, and it just burns me. So I was like, the hell with that. I'd just rather be warm or kind of hot. You know, I think there's an option you can call it like kitty temperature, children temperature, something like that the Starbucks people know.
I don't understand this. Like, he just ate some yummy mac and cheese and he's going ham now?
I love his dance moves.
Is that ASMR honey? I want it. Oh my God, I love honey so much. It's not really healthy to eat in large amounts, but guys, honey has legitimate medical uses. Oh, it's so
That's crazy. That's a ton of sugar.
good. You know, there's also medicinal honey, like Manuka honey can be prescribed.
Manuka honey is great. Expensive as hell. It comes from somewhere in Europe, New Zealand, maybe. I can't remember. But it's expensive as hell. But it does work. It does work. The science is pretty clear on it. Minus Manuka honey, what you want to get is local honey. Why? Because the bees would make honey locally. Some of that honey is tailored for local viruses. Yes, it is. Bet you didn't know that. And honey is great for the common cold. If drug companies could patent it, they'd be selling it to you. Honey is great. It is very great.
For wounds that are poorly healing. When I've worked
It's also good for that too. Applying to the skin. It's good for that. Very good for that.
at a wound care center before, in patients who had multi-drug resistant bacterial skin infections, we gave them topical honey and it worked.
Think about that. That's crazy. The drugs that didn't work, the topical honey worked. That's how potent honey can be. Yeah.
It's incredible.
Have you ever wondered how Koreans
So we saw this part already with the Garcinia kombucha. So gonna open things up. If any of you guys want to call in to chit chat, but in the meantime, I'm gonna check the chat, see what we got going on here. See what we got going on. Yes, Dr. Oz. I mean, you remember he kind of in trouble some years back where he had to come out and say something to the effect that his show is just for entertainment purposes and blah, 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 blah. And he got kind of dragged over the coals, I recall, because he was promoting some nonsense, some certain things that were clearly not good, like Garcinia kombucha, some other kind of foolishness as well. Some kind of foolishness. Yes, here, the positive therapist, here she goes. Remember the wizard was a fraud. Yeah. He's like, yeah, he still has a huge following, unfortunately. Crazy. Nico Avocado, that guy's crazy. Yes, he is. Yes, what is this guy doing rubbing pizza on his face? I agree. Yeah, Nico Avocado is way over the top. Yeah. And you know, when you look him up, he was incredibly slim before. Like natural, looked like a natural, like skinny dude, basically. That was kind of crazy. Yeah. Everything starts in the gut. I agree. Everything starts in the gut. Oh, yes. A natural juice cleanse. Yep. Thankfully, I've never fallen for that. I've never fallen for the natural juice cleanse, but it's just nonsense, right? It's just a way for the scale to go down briefly because you're just shedding. It's just water weight you're losing because you're not eating much, right? It's tricky. Yeah. Yep. Unfortunately, you miss all the great roughage when you juice the food. Exactly. Think of the most engineered food in the planet, right? What's that? Baby formula. Yet every doctor will recommend mothers to do what? Breastfeed. So even the most engineered, studied food on the planet, people still tell the mother to breastfeed because science just isn't that good. We cannot replicate mother's milk that well, right? Similarly, if you have a choice between eating the orange and drinking it, it is still better to eat the damn thing. There's so many things that we still don't understand. It's kind of like when you take supplements, right? It's still not as good as food. And the best supplements are the ones that come straight from the food, right? You'll see they get derived from the food, much higher quality, et cetera. So, oh yeah, Sika Methis. Damn, I bought all those smoothies for nothing. Unfortunately, yes, you did. Smoothies, in all seriousness, are very dangerous, right? They tend to be extremely high caloric intake. I believe we spoke the other day, I think it was with Angelique on that, right? You got to be careful with smoothies. You know, when you drink your calories, that's one of the easiest ways to get fat, right? Drinking your calories. You think that stuff is healthy. Plus, think about it. It's not satiating either, right? When you drink your smoothie, what happens 2 hours later? You're hungry again. Them the thing that don't keep you full, you know. Them thing that don't keep you full, man. Eat some salad, eat a piece of chicken, sweet potato. You're good to go for a couple of hours, right? You're good to go. And it's much more nutritious. You want the fruit? Just eat the damn fruit, man. Eat the fruit. Okay, this is interesting. The positive therapist says, now, coach, you actually like Reverend Jesse Jackson. I had the privilege of typing a speech for him when I lived in Chicago, and he highlighted all the words I needed to verify that were not made up. That's funny. Seekamitas can't wait to try a sauna again. Yeah, the sauna is so good, man. It is, the way I describe it, it feels like, to me as a guy, it feels like getting a facial for my body. That's what it feels like. It just feels so clean afterwards, right? It's crazy. You stand there sweating, and I've checked this, when you smell myself, I never smell after the sauna. Never. No matter how drenched I am, always feel clean and smell good too. It's great. It's great. It's great. It's great. Positive therapist says, I agree. Kids should play in the dirt, walk in their yards barefoot, the whole nine. Yep, I agree. This is how you build up your immune system, right? If you live in a bubble, a guy wrote a book some years ago called An Epidemic of Abstinence, I believe, or Absence, one of the two. He was saying people are living such clinically clean lives that their immune systems are sucking. Yeah. Yep, honey is good for coughs. It's great for the common cold. Great for the common cold. Nico Avocado was vegan. Oh, wow. Before he started his nonsense, believe it or not. Did not know that. I'm guessing here that, of course, going over the top gets you the views. More spews for more views, right? So he does have a huge farm. I think he has over 1 million subscribers. So let's see. Unless anyone is going to call up, we're going to call this show. The first show I did was 37 minutes, Fat Girl Fed Up. So this will probably be my second, which was my shortest live stream. So, hey, every live stream doesn't need to be 2 hours. You guys got any other questions, any comments or anything? Last call to come up if anybody got any comments or questions. Okay. I see none. So again, we're close to Friday. Gonna have another show tomorrow. Not sure yet what it's gonna be. I'm gonna interview somebody coming up, secret guest. He has a pretty big following. He has a huge podcast and a good sized YouTube channel as well. Trying to work out the details as to when. It's gonna be earlier than usual. It's gonna be like 5 p.m. because this individual is super serious about their sleep. He's super duper healthy. So his ass is in bed 9, 10 p.m., right? So he can't do an 8 p.m. show. He doesn't want to be being blasted with blue light at that point in time. So, yeah, but the dude knows a lot. Super duper knowledgeable person. Could easily speak for hours with this guy, right? So I'm hoping he'll be willing to do that. Super duper knowledgeable guy. Very cutting edge, very cutting edge. I learned a lot from listening to his show years ago, and I still listen to it as well. Very knowledgeable. But I don't drop his name yet until everything is confirmed. Then I'll promote the hell out of it. So yeah, big guy in the health industry, one of these OGs, so to speak. So I will see you guys tomorrow, same bat time, same bat channel. So laters, my massive, me I go long now. And for those of you who don't speak Jamaican patois, although you should be learning it by now, right? Laters. Peace.